All right, all right. Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon,
Whenever you're listening.
wherever or whoever you
is
are.
listening.
Does that make sense?
Not really.
It
It's
doesn't?
given we don't know our target audience.
Hmm.
Good evening, business owner who wants to thrive
Yeah,
and go to the next level with their business.
yeah. What he said. This is the JADE PIKA podcast, a social media marketing podcast by Open Roof Social. Open Roof Social is a social media marketing company. And we would just love to give you some nuggets like we always do to help you in your business journey reach the next level. Everyone likes to let's get to the next level,
Yeah.
especially your pastors.
What?
But this is meant to it's meant for the ones that want to make a real change.
Yeah.
The ones that want to achieve their yearly goals and are serious about them. The ones that want to expand. This
The
is for you.
ambitious ones.
So, I started on a high to tell you that your social media marketing sucks. That's the topic for today.
Yeah.
Why your social media marketing sucks. In fact, your social media marketing sucks, just as a statement. Now, that may seem harsh, but that's not what it's meant to do. It's meant to sort of awaken you to the fact that there's so much more that you can do with your social media.
Yeah.
And this episode, we jump right in with that. So, why does your social media marketing suck? We'll go through a few points and hopefully you enjoy them. And in episodes to come, we'll dive in depth with the points that we've raised today. Today, we'll just give you a little bit of a snapshot of why your social media marketing sucks. So, why does the social media marketing suck?
I think the first place that we obviously go to is the social media marketing strategy. There's no such thing as no strategy, right?
Okay.
There's either a good strategy or a bad strategy.
Mhm.
Even winging it is a strategy on its own.
It's just a bad one.
It's just a bad one. Well,
Okay.
sometimes it works for people, but
Mm-hmm.
exceptions can be made the norm. So, firstly, people don't go on social media with an actual strategy for their business, right?
Yeah.
They don't know who they are exactly.
Yeah.
They don't know what makes them unique. They don't know who their target audience is,
Yes.
and they don't know many other things that they were supposed to have developed in their own business before they go on social media. Hence, they go with a product, they go with a service, and just post whatever, or even things that are unrelated to the product or their target audience.
Yes.
And they're wondering, oh, why aren't we seeing the numbers? We keep on seeing just very few likes, sharing. That's because your target audience does not actually relate
Yes.
to your content. So, no strategy is one of the major reasons.
Yeah. That one is definitely a big one. Like, strategy is where you begin, right? And your social media strategy should generally fall under your general marketing strategy. I use general twice, so that tells you something about what I'm trying to say. And your brand strategy is basically your game plan of how your brand is going to show up to the public.
Yeah.
Because a brand is the perception the public has of you.
Yeah.
So that's an important point, the perception. So if we're going into what does your brand strategy sort of talk about? Like I said, it's a game plan of how you show up. Now, what's involved in that? Number one, you have to know your purpose. You have to know your why. Like, why is it that we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
That's where your brand strategy
And
starts
it can
from.
be to make money.
Exactly. I mean, for some it is, but what's your why? That's where it starts from.
Yeah.
Then it goes to, okay, who is our target audience or who is our core group, right? Who do we want this brand to reach out to, right? That also opens it up to a lot of things. After that, you say, okay, what's our brand position? Your brand position is the place that your brand takes in the heart and minds of your consumer, right? So ShopRite takes the position of super mega market in the consumer's minds.
Yeah.
So that's ShopRite's brand position. So if you are a competitive brand and you want to take up a place in the consumer's mind, don't go for the position that ShopRite has, right? Because ShopRite is already known as the mega supermarket.
Yeah.
So you can come and say, no, we are the fruit and veggie supermarket. And that's the position you take in the hearts and minds
Like
of the
food
people.
lovers.
Exactly. like your food lovers or anything else. So you have to know the position that you take in sort of like the minds of the people. Thirdly, you have to know what differentiates you, right? And when we talk of differentiation, I know a lot of marketers throw around this term, and people usually think of differentiation only in light of their direct competition. But differentiation is how you show up compared to everyone else, right? Because when people are on social media, they go through various content, and if everyone is looking the same, it doesn't matter if they're in the same niche or in the same industry. As long as it's on social media, it's you versus all those people. So it's important that you sort of set yourself apart by saying, okay, the market is going this side. Okay, everyone is going this side. This is how I'm going to show up. If everyone goes with yellow, I'm going to show up with blue. And that's the concept of the purple cow theory, is that if you're walking through a farm and you see a purple cow, you definitely stop and look at it, because what are the odds that you see a purple cow in a farm? So differentiation is important. The other aspect, and I would say the final one for this point that I'm making, is your unique selling proposition, right? Your unique advantage of your business. What is it that your business offers that no one else is offering, or no one else can do as good as you do? That's your unique selling proposition. It's important that you know as a brand, okay, this is our core advantage, and you can also make that your brand promise, right? So if you know that this is what we do as a brand, you can promise it to the market, because you know no one else would dare try and make that promise. So if you know that I like to give the example of being in the insurance business, right? Usually claims take long to pay out. So if you come in as a new insurance business and you say, we pay out claims within 1 week, there you stand out, and that will be your unique selling proposition, and you can make it your brand promise because of that. So those are the brand fundamentals that I listed down. So as you make your social media marketing strategy, it's important that you get those brand fundamentals and flesh them out through your social media marketing strategy. So if you know your target audience, you know, okay, my target audience is usually on LinkedIn and they like carousel posts. So you do more of carousel posts. Or they like videos. So you do more videos. They like short form videos. You do more of short form videos. If they like long form, same thing, right? You're making your content in line with what you've already decided is your brand strategy. And if your brand position is, we are the fruit and veggie market, the content that you make should reinforce what your position is supposed to be. So that's why your brand fundamentals are really important. So because it's reinforcing that, remember, it's the art of branding. Branding is perception management. Right? Or other people can call it like sort of like interaction management, how people interact with your brand and what they perceive you as. You branding is you trying to influence that. So within your content, within your social media marketing strategy, you make sure that it's influencing the position that you're trying to take in the market. So that's sort of how you approach social media marketing strategy. I could go into what it entails, but that's for another episode. But it's important that you know that generally.
One of the key things that usually people make the mistake in dealing with example issues like target audience is that they come with this business idea and it's like, okay, this is a money maker, right? And they think, who am I going to sell this to? I'm going to sell this to everyone. That's a major mistake.
Terrible.
Major mistake, because not everyone is going to buy from you. Even big companies like Apple, they have a share in the market. They don't have the whole market. Right?
Important.
They have a share in the market. They might have a majority share, but it's still not the whole share.
Exactly.
It's like a pie. We all have a piece of cake.
Because you can't sell to everyone.
Right. So hence, you have to be specific, right? Who exactly am I looking at, right? If you're looking at like shoes, heels, right? You're not selling to every woman. You're probably selling to someone in corporate, someone with a 9 to 5. Right? Someone who will be using your shoes on a regular, going to work, going to court, and going for like dinners and functions. So where are they? Who are they? what kind of income do they have,
Yeah.
and where would I find them?
Precisely.
And what kind of content appeals to them and is relatable to them.
Yeah.
Because the only way that you can actually get them into your business
Mm-hmm.
is if they look and say, this person understands my needs, and so I'm getting their shoes.
Exactly. And that goes into the second point, which I think is also
Mm-hmm.
one of the most vital points, is knowing what you are selling.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they're selling.
They think
Right?
it's the product.
And
that even sounds weird. Right? It's like,
Ex-
what do you mean?
what-
It's obviously the product.
I
It's
mean,
obviously my service.
I do
what
wigs.
do you mean I don't? Yeah.
I know I'm selling wigs, but it's like, no, yes, you're selling wigs, obviously, but the real thing that you're selling is the reason behind the reason that people buy.
Exactly.
There's always an emotion that's behind that, and
Yeah.
that's what you're selling to. So when you're approaching, let's go with a wig example, you have to ask, okay, why do people want to buy these wigs, right?
Yeah.
You find out that, okay, maybe they want to buy wigs because they want to look good in public.
Yeah.
They don't want to be embarrassed and look cheap. So that's the driving reason behind why a certain person would buy a wig. So it's not for you to come and say, no, my wig is 50 inches long of shan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should speak to the fact that we sell wigs that will make you look stunning in public and never be embarrassed again.
Yeah.
Because remember, the reason that they bought is that they didn't want to be embarrassed in public.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with a cleaning company, right?
Yeah.
People want to say, no, we have the best brooms, we have the best workers that will clean with these chemicals and whatnot. It's like, no, that's not the real reason that people are buying. People are buying because they want that when they come with visitors, the visitors shouldn't say that these guys are dirty. You know, they don't want to be embarrassed in front of the visitors. So they are avoiding it. That's the real emotion behind why they would book your services as a cleaning company or as a maid center, right? So sell to the emotion rather than just selling the product, because people don't want to be sold to, but they want their specific problem to be solved.
Yeah. I'll double down on this. Business is a social game.
Yeah.
People have problems. Entrepreneurs are also known as solution finders.
Yeah.
Right? They come into the market and see a problem and they offer a solution. It's the same thing. People have a problem that they have, right? Let's say, for example, they have got a dinner. Their problem is, I don't think the clothes that I have are good enough for this dinner. So I need to buy one. The mistake that you make is saying, look, we have got good pants,
Yes.
good blouses, we have good nice dresses. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily speak to my real problem. My real problem is, will I get something that will make me look good at that dinner? And you might think that the thing is like, okay, yeah, the dinner is, this dress will make you look good at the dinner. The question is, why do they want to look good at the dinner, right? Why exactly do they want to look good at the dinner? And the reason behind it is sometimes they want to feel proud,
Self-esteem.
confident. They want to feel elegant.
Yes.
Right? Sell to the real reason they want your product.
Yeah.
Sell to the true solution that they're looking for, right? Which is making themselves feel confident and walking into that space. So because a business is there to satisfy consumers' needs, right? Make sure you're communicating to their true need. Right? Like, for example, you had given, they want to walk into the home and have no stress that they have to now start cleaning and they have to start reaching for places they couldn't reach in the morning.
Yeah.
They sell to the fact that you can walk into your home and have a peace of mind.
Stress-free.
Sell to the fact that you can go to your dinner and people's heads will turn and say, wow, you look great.
Exactly.
And you feel confident to walk into a place and not worry, is there some kind of wrinkle this side? Or am I actually looking good?
Yeah.
As a business owner, you've spoken so well about your product and what it will do for the consumer, that the consumer is like, I can trust you.
Exactly.
You know what you're talking about because you are there to meet my need. And worse off, sometimes in a business will go so far to the point where we are the best suppliers for. It's like, who
Stop
cares
talking
about you?
yourself.
Right? No one comes and says, I want to know who the best. Even when they ask that question, they're asking for the best because the best to provide the best service for them.
Exactly. It will alleviate their pain. So it's like, stop talking about how good you are, what awards you've won as a business, or no, speak to the problem, speak to the pain
Yeah.
that someone is feeling and how you can alleviate that pain. That's all they
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Yeah.
The third is something that is key
Yeah.
because it speaks to the title, and this is, your content is not great, or your content is not epic. So here's the thing, because the social media market landscape is, or the social media landscape is now being filled with a lot of people. You have creators coming on board, you have companies
Influencers.
coming on board. There's a lot of content that's being pushed out there. So if you don't find a way to stand out, people will just scroll past you, right?
Yeah.
And people don't take this as serious. You find someone just post a picture of just their product, nothing added to it, nothing that makes someone stop the scroll and say, oh, that's interesting,
This is
or
interesting.
what's this talking about, right? It's really just them selling. The picture quality is not great. It's not appealing to
Yeah.
the eye. It's not appealing to the ear with the audios that they use.
Yeah.
And this is very important, because if you're going to show up on social media, you have to make epic content
Yeah.
that your core audience will like,
Yeah.
right? And remember, social media is not always about get with your content. It should also be about what can you give, right?
Yeah.
So people should genuinely find your content likable,
Yeah.
and it should be differentiated, and it should be epic, it
Yeah.
should be entertaining, it should be inspiring, and all the good stuff that comes with that. So for me, it's like, okay, if you're going to show up on social media with content, make sure that you do the actual work of brainstorming what good content looks like,
Yeah.
and how you will translate that good content into your whole social media marketing plan. And your content should not be boring,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because people will scroll past it, people won't like it. And remember, people buy from people they know and people
trust.
that they like, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
trust. Yeah. But I just wanted to emphasize on the likability, right?
Yeah.
People will pick someone they like over anyone else on any day.
Yep.
So a way to make sure that people like your business, people are loyal to your business,
Yeah.
is through the content that you bring out, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a picture of what your brand is and how you make people feel. So make content that makes people feel something,
Yeah.
and not just scroll past you.
Yeah. The content is your customer's first interaction with you. And because that content, every time they're scrolling on a reel, your content shows up, right? That's their first interaction with you. Or maybe even second or third. But those are the only interactions that they have,
Yeah.
right? So your content doesn't necessarily have to be different to the extent where you're coming out with completely original ideas, even though there's a definite space for that. Sometimes it's about creating content that your target audience already likes.
Yes.
Because social media at this point has been driven to a point where it's interest based. That's why Instagram, Facebook, and like they're asking you interested, not interested.
Exactly.
And so content is pushed towards people that have been clicking on the interested,
that's
right?
a PowerPoint.
And so if you're not creating content that is already within the scope of the people, your target audience has already been saying, we are interested in this kind of content, and then you're making things that are just completely off, it's like, then
First of all,
they're
that-
going to look and say, these are not for us.
Yeah, and
They
the
kinda like
algorithm
you.
will stomp you down.
Yes, because when they notice that, okay, your content, which is supposed to be going towards these, people
They
are not
don't
liking
even like it.
Yeah, and you think, no, I've been put in jail, right? Like, it was social media jail, right? And they're like, because
relate.
now we're just getting 10 likes.
Yes, 0 views.
And 0 views.
On
You know what I
TikTok
mean?
especially.
Like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
It's because your content is not doing what it's supposed to, right? You're not getting the reputation that you need to get. You're not
Yes.
showing the care. You're not showing the trust in your content.
Yes.
There are 3 things that are said about social media content. It has to be entertaining. Well, I would actually say there are 4.
Yeah.
Entertaining,
Yes.
or inspiring, or educational, or relatable. Right? With these,
Fire.
go and put them out. Go and put this kind of content out.
Fire.
And you get the shares that you want because they relate to them.
Mhm.
You get the likes that you want because it's either educational,
Yes.
inspiring, or entertaining.
Yes.
Right? You get the comments, especially on the educational part.
Mhm.
You get your engagement. That builds
Exactly.
trust, that builds brand loyalty, that builds a strong client base with intent.
Yes.
Because based off that content, they'll come into your business knowing we have come into your business to interact with your product.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on those 4 points that you made, that can even serve as a checklist to say, okay, this content that we've thought of or this content that we made, number one, is it entertaining?
Yeah.
Is it educative?
Yeah.
Does it inspire action?
Yeah.
Is it relatable? And if your content doesn't fall in any of those,
going to miss.
scrape it off.
Yeah.
Because you're just wasting you're just mere presence,
Yeah.
right? You're relying
You
on mere
you
presence.
can even try and experiment if you're like, no, you don't trust what you're saying. Try and make sure you create content that doesn't have any of these 4.
Yeah.
And you go to your zero life.
Yes.
You go
exactly.
to your no engagement at all.
And it's very important that people invest into good content, because good content just doesn't come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to make sure you invest into it because it's important. Good content can be the biggest difference between whether your business gets traction or not.
Yeah.
So if you need to get a better camera, if you need to hire a videographer, if you need to hire a content creator that knows how to translate these things, go ahead and spend that money and invest so that your business can have real traction and not just merely hanging in there when you can actually be doing way more with that.
That's true. That's true.
That's been the episode.
Yeah.
And it's
History.
actually been one of my favorite. Hopefully people can go and act on these points.
Yeah.
Make sure you're showing up every day. That's the most important thing. Make sure you're iterating where you need to iterate. If you see something's not working, flip it, try again.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna say that. That's a sign that the podcast should end. So this has been the Jade PIKA podcast. Go out there and do it because your business deserves it.
Yeah.
Peace and love.